fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Denver Broncos. And the mile-high air in full effect as that's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. To throw on second down, Simmons. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the tuck rule that they can fall back on anymore.
Little trouble thus far on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 11.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
3-19. From the gun, Simmons. Throw left side, complete to Ross. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 18 yards on that one, and the Bengals are moving. First down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get over.
The ball comes out, but this will fortunately wind up out of bounds.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. The ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball,
Detroit,
man.
Detroit! Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Mixon with a first down carry. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Back-to-back 11-yard gains, and they've got another first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
On 1st and 10, Simmons. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 19. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands.
No. Check. Patriot. Now let's go. Green 39.
They begin with a run by Davis. Limited running room as he'll get about 3 to the 21.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Lucky 56. Watch him now, Barney. Gun.
Nyheim Hines, his first carry. And he will fight his way forward to about the 23-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead them to third down.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Give them 14 yards there and a Denver 1st down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Detroit! Detroit!
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Pass incomplete.
I think we'll see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco 1st down. So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 43. Here's a give to Davis. And he's going to take it down to about the 35 here. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
Let's go! 3-19! 3-19!
On 2nd down, Davis. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1. They'll look to throw. And he's got a man. It's the tight end, Howard, complete. And he'll be out of bounds, able to get it down to the 25 there. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a 1st down. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on 3rd down. They did. Big-time
pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone. Because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. Makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count.
Forced out to his left. And that's going to be incomplete.
Well, you know you don't want to make a mistake in that area, so you make sure you make a smart throw. Throw it out towards the sidelines. If you overshoot your guy, so be it. It's just the incompletion that we saw there.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
Detroit!
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Eluding the pressure right. And his throw's going to be incomplete. This drive, which was going so smoothly, all of a sudden it's a little bit of a roadblock here with 2 straight incompletions.
Yeah, apparently this defense has had enough. Apparently they're saying no more. We're making a stand right here, right now. But it is 3rd and 10. They've got to get after him one more time.
They'll drop the throw. And that's going to be too high. Out of bounds and incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
And Lutz's kick is good. And the Broncos, the first to grace the scoreboard. It's 3-zip. So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
So now the Bengal offensive unit back out onto the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done. Partner, what a good football coach is looking for? Complete football players. And guess what? We've got one here because most cornerbacks, they just want to cover people. This guy shows the ability to go ahead and make tackles.
Looking to throw. Simmons. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. A good pick up there of 20 yards. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
He's going to let one go. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Simmons. And this one will be brought back to the 22. He was looking for Parker that time.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
A first down carry for Davis. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2. They pitch it to Davis. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. The Broncos on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. Now back to throw. He's got a man. It's Sutton that's complete. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. That goes for a gain of 31. Back alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Bronco football to begin quarter number 2. So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. Back to throw now on 1st down. He's going to air one out. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
Flushed out right. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 28. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line.
I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
Looking to throw on second down. Simmons. He gets this in the hands of Mixon. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Some extra space following the display of power down just inside the 45.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive. Now the Broncos are going to take a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Back to Mixon on 1st down. And he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
Detroit! Detroit!
Off the play fake. Simmons dumps that off to his running back, Jordan Howard. And he gets it down to the 32. They'll get 11, but still a little short. 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
On 4th down, it's Howard. And, boy, this is going to be close. That mark looks a little short, and he didn't get there. And coming out now, the Broncos. And in enemy territory last time through the interception. We'll see what they do on this drive.
Can't wait to see how it alters what they decide to do in play calling. Do they continue to throw the ball? Do they want to lean more on the running game? It'll be an interesting sequence of plays that they've got coming up.
Does it often affect the play calling with the interception? How much does that change what you do?
I think it does depending on why the interception was thrown. Sometimes it's just a matter of the defense made a great play, so you continue to come back. But if it's on you, if the offense just doesn't have the confidence, if they're a little bit shaky, maybe try and take the pressure off and run the ball a little bit.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to spring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
This is Davis. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. And that's caught inside the 35. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. A very solid gain of 27.
There's simply no sense in wasting a great catch like that on a short gain. Get downfield like he just did there and use it up that way.
No dink and dunk. And holding it may be the wrong decision as he stopped in the backfield. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
Back 99 Philly, here we go. All right, now, lucky 56.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Down to the 30 after a gain of 3.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again, they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
They're going to look to throw. And Sutton hauls it in over the middle. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. Give them 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. This quarterback now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10. Back to throw here. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and it'll make it 2nd down. They go back to the ground now with Davis. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Malik Jefferson in there on the stop. The Broncos on 3rd down. They've been near perfect. 4 for 5 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 2. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. Back to Denver right after this. The Broncos on 3rd down. They've been near perfect. 4 for 5 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2.
Check, Patriot.
Davis, he'll try to run for it. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. The gain of 5 that time gives him the conversion and makes it 1st and goal.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Looking to throw. Oh, it's incomplete. That would have been big in the end zone if he could have held on. Instead, it's 2nd down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal?
Detroit!
Here's Davis. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. A great effort there. His first touchdown of the new season. And the Broncos will extend their lead.
But they decided to run it in and got it done on 3rd and goal. A lot of the times, that's a passing play.
And the kicker just has to come out for the PAT. He can breathe a sigh of relief as well, right?
Although I don't know if he's really breathing a sigh of relief. I think he likes to put 3 points on his ledger.
Returning it, John Ross. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. The Bengals getting set to go. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave him great field position, turned it to 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for him. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
A handoff to Mixon. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. Aren't people celebrating? The guys who just gave up that play.
After the penalty, it's Mixon. Spins past him. And flags come in as he gets forward for about 3 yards. Now let's check on the call. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards.
56. Lucky 56. Gun.
Operating from the gun, Simmons. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the keeper, and it'll lead to a 2nd down. To throw on 2nd down, Simmons. This is caught. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Bengals able to get this back within a touchdown. Aguayo able to connect on the extra point. And that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. The punter Pinion now to kick this one away. Short kick. One of the up men will take it now. And he's able to get this all the way to the 40 before going out of bounds. And just like that, on we head to half number 2. So we're at halftime here in Denver with the Broncos leading this one. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this 3rd quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
He'll drop to throw. Now he's flushed out left. And he slides to avoid the hit. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco 1st down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
They'll set up to throw. Looking left side, he's got it. Complete. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Now a handoff to Davis. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
All right, now, lucky 56.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. That is caught inside the 5. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. In for the score. And the Broncos will add on to their lead.
When we draw up defenses on the board, we do account for every receiver. But on that particular play, somehow he was wide open, became an easy touchdown pass.
Lutz now to kick this one away. Now Ross to return. There he goes left side. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. As his guys are in for 6. And the Bengals have got it back to a 1-score game. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdowns scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. And Denver getting set to take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
Gone! All right, now, look at 56.
He'll look to throw. He's going to air one out. And it's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
All right, now, look at 56. Lucky 56. Hot. All right, now, look at 56.
Again, it's Mixon. And 3 yards there takes him to the 45.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
To throw on third down. Simmons. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 18 yards on that one, and the Bengals are moving. First down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
All right, now, look at 56. Lucky 56.
On first down, Simmons, flush to his right. Wide open receiver, complete. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. A really good pickup of 28 yards. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. They'll give it to Mixon. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And give him 5 that time as they draw a bit closer here for a 2nd and goal.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime means had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
All right, now, look at 56. Lucky 56.
And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he bulls his way into the end zone for a Bengal touchdown. It's the fullback, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Bengals are in for 6. From the gun, Simmons. And this will be incomplete. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a 2-point conversion, all that extra, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
Davis running left. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a first down.
Well, as we've learned over the years, just because a guy plays left tackle doesn't mean he doesn't have run blocking abilities, and we just saw it there. Controlled the line of scrimmage, created a big gain.
That's kind of a bonus. He's there to protect that high value that you have back under center, but he creates space in the run game.
Yeah, not only can he dance, he can mash, too.
And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
Yeah, interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
Give him 4 yards as he does it himself, and it's a first down. So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 47. Now this time he'll look to throw. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. Denver has the first down. The play going for 15 yards. This quarterback now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. They'll look to throw here. Dancing to his left. Finding room to the 20. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy, because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. And this is caught for a Bronco touchdown. In for the score. And the Broncos are in for 6. And it was a tight window. He knew he had to rocket that thing in there. He got it done.
And when you're able to complete one like that, your confidence has to just go sky high. You just mentioned it. Tight window, zings it in there despite excellent coverage. Result, touchdown.
Lutz now to kick this one away. Now it's Parker. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Gone.
Throwing on first down. Simmons. Eluding the pressure right. He's got a man. That's caught. Left sideline. And a loose football. The Broncos say they have it. They do. Welcome back now to Denver. It's Bronco football, and they also have the lead here as we get set for the 4th. So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. Handoff, running left is Davis. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage.
Detroit!
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Back 99 Philly, here we go.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
On 3rd down, it's Hines. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down for a nice little gain. Give him 8 yards on the carry, and that's going to bring up 4th down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the first down. Close it out.
The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Gone.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And his throw is incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Throwing left side, it's complete. Denver has a first down on the 15-yard play. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On the run, it's Davis. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. A gain of 3, 2nd down. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heel? Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Basically, you're not going to outwork two guys very often.
Double coverage. I thought he was going to go somewhere else for the football. I get it. That's a stud wide receiver. You want to try to get him the football.
Yeah, sometimes you rely on him a bit too much. You forget the other options that are out there.
And from a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a one-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive? A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punching the end zone without turning it over.
On 2nd down, here's Mixon. A beautiful span and room to run. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A big run there, 29 yards and a first.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. Ito Smith, his first carry. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Back to throw. Simmons. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Looking to throw. Simmons. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Now, he's been a busy man out of the backfield. They've looked his way quite a bit so far in this game.
Nice job there defensively, though, adjusting, because a couple of his earlier catches, he was wide open. Not that time.
You mentioned the key word, adjustment. A better cover man on him now in space.
Now the Broncos are going to take a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And it's caught by Parker. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. Wow, 1st and goal, and defensively, all they can do is shake their heads. Not only did they allow the conversion, but a big play as well.
Detroit! Detroit!
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get 6 on the ground there, and it'll be 2nd and goal coming up. When we talk about being on schedule, I think they're on schedule after that run, getting it right down there on the doorstep.
Maybe even a little bit ahead, because now the defense can't dictate.
And he takes it into the end zone. Touchdown, Bengals. A great play there. His first touchdown of the new season. And the Bengals are an extra point away from tying up this football game. Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild 4th quarter. This one taken from the 7. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. The Bronco offense now set to come back out onto the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Again, it's Davis. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup, so from a good situation on 2nd and 2, it's now 3rd and 1. Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this. Here we go, 3rd and 1. Gut check time on both sides. They'll set up a throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game.
Partner, you absolutely cannot take a sack in that situation. Now, it's also 4th down.
Tie game, 4th quarter, and they're going for this thing on 4th down. He'll look to throw. Now he's forced out right. Now he's going to let it go deep right sideline. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Broncos unable to convert here on 4th. And the Bengals are going to get it back in terrific field position. We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. Here's a give to Mixon. And room there to work it inside the 25. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39. Hot. Detroit. Detroit. Switch.
Again, it's Mixon. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
All right, my man, this is now where it's risk-reward. Because on defense, you've got to crowd the line of scrimmage. You've got to get in all the gaps, get up tight on everyone, and try and force the field goal attempt here. You can't let them break one big, but you know something, when you crowd the line of scrimmage, if they do pop one, it's going to go away.
Yeah, I was going to say, could take it to the house, but the magnitude of this possible upcoming field goal, every yard counts. Now Joe Mixon, call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense, as he'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. And that's off the right upright. Thought it might sneak in, but it did not. It's no good. And a costly one there, as this game remains tied here in the 4th. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Gun. Hot.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a 1st down. 1st down now, but that clock rolling. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. A good pickup there, a 22. 10 seconds to go.
You have no timeouts remaining. You absolutely have to get out of bounds.
And they're able to spike it in time. And they are in range for a field goal that could win this football game. So it all rests now on the right leg of Will Lutz. And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining. And did he just clock that? Looked like he tried to stop the clock, but the clock wasn't even moving. So it all rests now on the right leg of Will Lutz. And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left. So it all rests now on the right leg of Will Lutz. 2 seconds on the clock. This for the win. And his kick is good. He knocks through his 3rd field goal of the game, and this one is the one that decides it. And it'll be all smiles on Blake Street tonight. The Broncos have won it. A lot of scoring. There's no doubt about that in this one, Charles. Points, they were not at a premium. They were pretty easy to come by.
They were.